No, the guys that are here are in good shape. So, obviously we've taken all the precautions and had all the right testing that needed to be done for the boys. And, the 23 that are here are fit and firing. And
that 23, a few learnings from last week against the Highlanders?
Yeah, I think so. It was a disappointing result. Everyone talks about the virus this week, but I think it was last week that had a real impact on us. We had guys pulling out the day of the game, and it was backs to the wall stuff, and disappointing that we just couldn't squeeze it out at the end there.
And success tonight, obviously the win, but what are you actually looking for as a coach through the course of the game?
Oh, look, we're here to play. Have that mindset where you just got to grind it out, or 3, 6, 9, 12. We've got to play some footy tonight. You've got to score tries against them. So, conditions look good out there. The pitch is dried off nicely, so we're ready to go.
I wish you well. Good luck.
Thanks very much.
Well, the Brumbies, really, they come in with a very, very poor track record. They haven't won on New Zealand soil since 2014. They haven't won here in Hamilton since 2007. Psychologically, can that play a big part, honey?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can't hide from the fact when you lose 13 games in a row in New Zealand, and 6 of those being to the Chiefs. But, I mean, Batesy...
I think you were part of that winning team in 2007 last time.
I did work that out. I did work that out when I saw that stat. Hold on a second. I was planning that last time the Chiefs lost here. But, to be fair, the very next week we went to Canberra, we had a semi-final, and we lost that as well.
We won't hold that against you, will we? Look, the Brumbies, they've almost put a trademark on the rolling maul, haven't it? The Chiefs, they know what's coming. The question will be, are they going to be good enough to defend it tonight?
Yeah, and and obviously is a real key part of the game. Right, their front row, their driving maul is their go-to. It plays two ways though. If the Chiefs can get under them and stop the driving maul, it is a big mental block for the Brumbies, because it's almost like, well, where do we go next? So it's a bit of a game in a game. The Brumbies want to do it, the Chiefs want to repel it, and the mental battle will be won early on in that department.
And you talk about that, and so you really want to see the Brumbies add some variation to that. They can't just keep going to the driving maul. So are they going to add some variation? Because like we know, Gats is going to put processes in place to defend that, and I think that the Chiefs are ready for it.
15-odd tries scored in the opening 3 rounds to rolling mauls. They are absolutely working, and 3 of those, or 9 of them, I should say, in the first 3 rounds. All right, there is a Kiwi connection tonight. Solomona Kata and former chief Tony Pulu. They will don the Brumbies script tonight. There could be a bit of banter on the park, I suspect.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Solomona's transition from rugby league into rugby, I think he's flown under the radar so far. I would like to see him get more involved, get some of those big storming runs that we know that Solomona Kata is quite effective with.
Yeah, definitely. I'd like him to take the ball head on. He's a big man. He comes straight at you. I know you don't want to T-bone people. Come straight at you. He is hard to stop. We know about Tony. He's on the bench. But what he does he brings genuine pace. So almost a mix between the 2 wingers.
That's short of Super Rugby, though, Pulu.
Yeah, certainly is. And to be fair, once again, also what will happen is the Chiefs boys, they know his weaknesses, if he's got any. So there might be a few high balls coming his way.
Got to say that the form book says the Brumbies are really up against the odds tonight. Mark Stafford from the TAB has the punter numbers for us.
I sure do, Bernie, and it is a very one-sided affair according to us. And the punters, you can see there, the head-to-head mark at $1.22. That's short, much better value if you think the Brumbies can win. And looking at the margins, the favoured way, 13 and over to the home side at the $1.83. And again, big numbers if you're a Brumbies backer. Couple of little feature markets, one I've called huge spread, a massive window of 30 points. So that one is for the Chiefs to win by between 10 and 40. That's paying $1.50. And one I'm going to keep a good eye on tonight, I've called the D train. Damien McKenzie to run for more than 80 plus metres, ball in hand. That's at $4.50 for him to get 80 metres in the whole game.
Mark Stafford, you're a generous man. What's your special tonight?
Always generous, and always an Aaron Cruden supporter as well. A bit of a Manawatu connection. So Aaron Cruden and Anton Leonard-Brown both score a try. Was paying $8, now out to $10. Range stays away. Quite a few tries, 1 each. I like it.
I like that. The Kiwi fans definitely will be liking that. Well, you've had the top tips and even a special for the night from Staffy, but if your luck doesn't come in, put your feet up tomorrow and take in the tally. A lot in store for you. Earth's Great Rivers is on at 7:30 p.m. and on Sky Sport 5. Motorsport action with live coverage of the Supercars Championship from Adelaide. The sun is coming out. We are loving that. And the crowd definitely keen to see one man in action. And he gave rugby fans a taste of what they have been missing. Make absolute no mistake, D-Mac is back.
Right, Slim, what have we got? Oh, short. Not bad, though.
You beach now. You're out.
Great shot, Alvie. Get it. Shot, boy. Cheers, Slim. You're on lunch.
Cheers, Alvie.
But before that, let's go have a chat.
Let's do it, mate. I remember it very clearly, playing the Blues here in Hamilton. I spoke at half-time of, I guess, kicking opportunities for us and maybe putting the ball in the air and testing their back three a bit. Straight after half-time, Marty put it in the air and I tried to chase like a headless chook.
Orchid Black pirouettes away from McKenzie.
Felt a pop and I knew something wasn't quite right.
Damien McKenzie's still down and some difficulty.
Thought I'd be looking back and my knee was going to be in a funny spot, but it was still in one piece. The telling point was when I tried to get up and start walking and my knee just wanted to give way. That was the moment I thought, okay, there's something really wrong here.
It's not a great sight to see this outstanding player.
Got an MRI scan the next day and found out my ACL had ruptured.
I guess you were really just trying to stop. So when I seen you go down, I was like, oh, he'll be sweet. I've seen him jump up for high balls, get smashed, get flipped over and all that sort of stuff. I honestly, like for myself personally, I couldn't believe it when something that simple ended up being a major injury. I can't remember you ever being injured. I can't remember you missing any games. So what did you learn in that 6 to 9 months you're out of the game?
Yeah, I guess I learned that, rugby can be taken away from you just like that. Obviously a World Cup only comes every 4 years, so that was obviously the ultimate goal, was to try and make that squad, and to have that opportunity cut short was disappointing. But I guess for myself, it really put rugby in a different perspective. The biggest learning for me is to make sure I make the most of every game or every training, to not take any games for granted.
At last, we get to see the dazzling feat of Damien McKenzie back in action. First appearance since mid-April of last year.
It's a surreal feeling to be back out in the field.
McKenzie, first touch for him.
You take games for granted at times, and to have my first game back here in Hamilton and run out to a home crowd, it was a great thrill.
Now McKenzie! Chief straight back, beautifully worked.
When you're away from the game, you miss it a lot. Yeah, to come out and be back out with the lads and playing was an awesome feeling. A moment that was pretty special for myself, and I guess I was just very thankful for the people who helped me get back into that position, and to hold and stay in one piece was awesome.
It was awesome having you back on the field, and I've missed someone running at the back like a circus. I still don't know where you're going to go, but the best thing is you haven't lost your speed or agility or your toughness, so it's great to have you back out there.
Appreciate it. Cheers, Brad.
Damien McKenzie, he certainly sells tickets, doesn't he? One game and he's already lit up the competition, honey.
Yeah, absolutely. And like he says, he's in no rush. He just wants to enjoy his footy as he's introduced back into the Super Rugby season.
And what I like about him is I believe he's playing in the position that he should play in. He's a natural 15. He can play 10, but a natural 15. We saw last week against the Sunwolves when he scored that try, that when he broke out. It's just he plays heads-up football, plays what's in front of him. He's got Cruden organising the ship, and he can just be the McKenzie that we know he can be.
Everyone else is doing their job, so he doesn't have to. But I do like the spontaneity of Damien McKenzie too. Sometimes where's he going to go with this one? What's he going to do with it?
And he cuts back, and I think Brad Weber once said he's like trying to chase a man down that hasn't got a map, you know what I mean? So he does go everywhere. It can be hard to chase, but when you're that good, you've got a licence to do whatever you want, more or less.
Still a utility though?
Yeah, still can fill in at 10, I believe, honey. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely, but I think he's really going to cement his spot. We want to see Damien McKenzie in space, and out the back, that number 15 role for him, I think, is perfect.
All right, well, we talked about the grunt and the power up front for the Chiefs. Playing a very key role in that is Neil Barnes, and he has been chatting with Ben.
Thanks for joining us, Neil. Travelling well, 3 from 3. You happy with your camp so far?
Yeah, we are actually. We're still nowhere near where we need to be playing-wise, but to have all those points on the board and having rested quite a few guys, it's pleasing. So we've got a fresh crew coming in this week that have had a week off last week and haven't had to travel. so they should be fizzing and ready to go.
And a bit of a test for your pack tonight. The Brumbies are good up front.
Yeah, it's a challenge you look forward to too. They're well drilled. Over the years, they've earned a lot of respect from me anyway. So, yeah, we know we're up for it tonight. So it'll be a good battle.
And welcoming back Luke Jacobson. That's a nice sight.
Yeah, it is. And like even at practice, even though it's touch, you see him running into gaps and people bouncing off him. Just reminds you what he's got. So, yeah, he'll battle for match fitness, of course, but I'm sure he'll give it everything and enjoy it.
Oh, we're looking forward to this match. Go well tonight.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks.
He will be waiting to uncoil Luke Jacobson. It has been quite the wait for him. Boy, talk about riches in the loosies, honey.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Jacobson's come off the concussion issues from last year, but then recently picked up the hamstring injury. And that's an injury where he's kind of got to be careful, and he can't just come out full force. You're going to look at his match fitness. But I think he's going to want to make a statement tonight. He had the likes of Lachlan Boucher playing in the number 6 jersey, and he would have been watching him from the sideline. So he wants to make a statement tonight, I think.
It's just another example of the Chiefs' luxury. Exactly. There's the competition, and he's not comfortable. Yes, he was an All Black, but he's not comfortable because he's had to watch people, and those people have gone pretty well.
Unbelievable. They are absolutely spoilt for choice. So Alex Nankivell, he starts at second 5, and you've got Cruden on one side, Anton Leonard-Brown on the other. That is a midfield that's going to really pack some punch.
Well, I think the pairing is quite scary. I mean, the X factor that they both have, but Nankivell himself, his ability to shift from 12 to 13 and push Anton Leonard-Brown out to 13, he's going to have to look to create some opportunities, but also just hold the ball and run hard and solid, which we know Nankivell can do quite well.
And he was really, really good last week against the Sunwolves. You got Ben Teal, who was up against him as well, but he was really, really solid. He took some lovely balls. His contact work was wonderful, and also his distribution was also really good. So another area as well with Tupai on the bench that they've got a little bit of depth.
Exactly what I was going to say. We've been talking about the competition that we've got between positions, and Tupai has been playing out of his skin. So again, to include him when he comes on, I think that midfield is really hard to beat.
All right, let's talk about the Chiefs' discipline. This is going to be very important because we know what style of play the Brumbies are going to bring to the table. Those rolling mauls, the Chiefs are going to really have to watch their penalty count.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, and it's a double-edged sword as well, because if they do get penalised, the Brumbies are more than happy to shoot goals, but on the other end, as we've talked about, they were very, very happy to kick towards the corners, start the driving maul, and that is the backbone of their game. They get that driving maul going, and then the mental battle takes over. Can you stop it? If you can't stop it, well, I'll tell you what, all of a sudden they start to build pressure, the Brumbies.
Yeah, 100% agree with you there, Batesy, and I think both teams are going to come out firing it. And as we've seen with the Chiefs, they seem to be a second-half team. I'd like to see them come out in the first half and really dominate the first 40.
How much of a key will that be, honey, getting out of the blocks quickly?
Yeah, I think it's absolutely key against a team like the Brumbies. We know that they can play 80 minutes, they can play 85 minutes. So the Chiefs will be wanting to get a good head start in this game, and especially if the rain comes down, they need to get that front foot forward.
And also with the week they've had, with the months, they've had a little bit of disruption within the camp. And all of a sudden, if you can get out a couple of tries, 2-3 tries, what that does, it sows a little seed of doubt in the Brumbies. And the Chiefs are one team that if they do get on top, we know they play razzle, they do get on top, they've got even more of a licence, and anything can happen.
Is there going to be a key player for you tonight?
I think it's just the same old for them. I think Cruden controls the game, McKenzie lights it up, and everyone else just does their job.
Yeah, I think the likes of Edai at number 12 for the Brumbies, he comes back in this week, and he's been really effective for them, and I think our midfield really have to ensure that they're looking after him, because he will create opportunities for the outsides of the likes of Tony Pulu when he comes on, and also Solomon Akata.
Happy hunting ground for you in the past, Batesy. Nice to see the Chiefs at home. Nice that the rain has halted.
Yeah, it has halted its hand, and the weather's quite good actually. So I did say at the top of the show, you said a drizzly Hamilton day is a standard Hamilton day. Bernie, you should know that.
Hey, I used to bike to school with the frost, and we walked through the paddocks, didn't we, in bare feet back in the day. It is going to be a cracker. Your thoughts for tonight? How do you think this is going to shape up? Who's going to win tonight?
Well, for me, I think it's the Chiefs, and I think it's the Chiefs. Honey, I heard you say 20 early on, so before we started here, so I'll say 21, but for me, I think it's the Chiefs, and if it could get messy if they're allowed to.
We're just going to nod, aren't we, honey?
Yeah, absolutely.
All Waikato people. Now, you might have noticed that we're in a pop of colour tonight. We're remembering our dear colleague, Alan Henderson, who passed away a week ago today. We bring the colour to the world to share his love and to get the message out. Prostate. Get your prostate checked, boys.